How's it going, everybody? It's Yong here, and welcome to day 1 of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. We are officially down to less than 24 hours, people. The 10 years long wait is almost over. Before you proceed, I highly recommend you check out day 2, in which I discussed all the news that yielded from Tokyo Game Show 2016. In this video, I'll be detailing the remainder of the news and footage of the year leading up to the game's launch. There is a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. Last time, we left off on September 18th, 2016, which was when game director Hajime Tabata announced that Final Fantasy XV would support PS4 Pro at launch. Something I forgot to mention in the last video is that the final episode of Brotherhood Final Fantasy XV also launched during TGS 2016 on September 17th, 2016, which gave us a deeper look into Noctis's past and his relationship with his father. Pretty good series overall. It's free, gives you a lot of background, and I highly recommend you check it out before you play the game proper. Moving on, 4 days later, on September 22nd, Weekly Jump released their latest magazine issue featuring some new Final Fantasy XV information, particularly regarding Shiva, one of the game's summons. According to the article, Shiva is a water goddess who, when summoned, wraps her surroundings in a cold air, and a magical scene where many Shivas fly about unfolds. Her attack is called Diamond Dust. Further details about Shiva were provided the following day on September 23rd via website Famitsu. According to website Nova Crystallis' summary of the article, summons or astrals in Final Fantasy XV sometimes have certain conditions that need to be met before they're called upon. For example, you can only use Leviathan near water, but Ramu can be used anywhere. Shiva, however, is a summon who can choose to come to your aid at random times, even if you don't want her to. She certainly has a unique personality, according to director Hajime Tabata. Then, the following day, on September 24th, during a gaming event in the UK called EGX 2016, PlayStation Access showed off some new Final Fantasy XV gameplay footage. It's over 20 minutes long, so I won't feature the full video, but if you'd like to watch it, just Google the headline of this article by Nova Crystallis or YouTube search the name of the video. Most of the footage here was essentially a variation of what's been shown previously, but they did show off some interesting features such as car customization, which is pretty neat. Even more footage was shown by PlayStation Access 5 days later on September 29th, also during EGX 2016. This video is just under 30 minutes and it shows off many facets of the game's mechanics, including magic crafting, so be sure to search this video up if you're curious. Then the following day, on September 30th, Square Enix hosted another active time report broadcast. One bit of information that they revealed was a list of Final Fantasy soundtracks that players will be able to listen to on the car radio. As you can see, the track list is huge, spanning across every mainline Final Fantasy title. So that was pretty much the biggest news that yielded from the Active Time Report episode, and that about concluded all the news for September 2016. Let's now dive into news and footage for the month of October. The month kicked off strong with the release of an official trailer showing what death spells look like in Final Fantasy XV. Check it out.
This one's no joke. Focus.
Mr. Nice Guy!
Biggie, look out.
Affirmative.
Here I am!
How are we?
Getting by. Never miss!
We're in the home stretch. That was a close one. We're in the home stretch. We needn't waste more time. Yeah.
Then, 4 days later, on October 6th, website Polygon released over 45 minutes of spoiler-free gameplay footage. It's yet another playthrough variation of the same portions of the game. Worth a watch if you're just itching for something Final Fantasy XV related before the game launches tomorrow. Just YouTube search the video title if you're interested. That very same day, October 6th, head of Xbox Phil Spencer confirmed via Twitter that Final Fantasy XV would support HDR for the Xbox One S at launch. Then, the following day, October 7th, even more footage of Final Fantasy XV would make its way to the internet, this time from sources such as Eurogamer and GameSpot. Once again, same section of the game, different gameplay variations. Just YouTube search the video titles if you're interested in checking them out. Now here's something interesting. The next day, October 8th, during an interview with Spanish website Vida Extra, Hajime Tabata answered a question regarding the possibility of a PC port of Final Fantasy XV. Tabata replied that, hypothetically speaking, if they were to do a PC port, they would work to offer a version that is much better than they have on consoles, stating that it would take over a year to achieve such a port. So there is hope for PC gamers, but you might have to wait a while. Moving on, 8 days later, on October 17th, 2016, Square Enix released Part 3 of the English voice cast series of videos. Check it out.
Have I played any of the previous Final Fantasy games? Yeah, absolutely. I've played all of them. The very first one I played was the cartridge for the NES. I remember blowing on it to get it to work. Final Fantasy. But I haven't beat them all. I've just played them all.
My favorite Final Fantasy is a bit controversial. I enjoyed 5, and I enjoyed 8. Go ahead, take me on. Come on.
What appeals to me most about Final Fantasy XV has to be the epic scale of the game. It's a franchise that is so seminal. It's been a thrill to be a part of it and to discover it and to sort of understand what it's like creating the world of it.
To be a part of something that is this legacy, these epic adventures is just so much fun.
The thing about Final Fantasy, in terms of the animation and the color and lighting in the video game, with every game that comes out, you can see there's a jump, there's a big jump.
I didn't know until, I think, my third callback that this was Final Fantasy, and I was just like, what? The art design is gorgeous, the character design is gorgeous, the world is something I've never seen before. So being part of this means a great deal to me.
The people that I worked with were phenomenal.
Everyone I've found working on this game has been really committed and professional at what they do, and I feel like you're at the highest level of your game.
And it all turned out that from these random actors, we all ended up being really compatible friend-wise, which was a huge bonus.
A lot of fun memories involve getting to hear various cohorts or friends' audio passes when we go and record, hearing scenes they've already done, and then being able to throw in outtakes and bloopers, going like, shut up, Robbie. Shut up, Ray! Stop it! Or occasionally leaving those in the actual audio file for the next time they come in to go ahead and throw off their performance. It's a little game we voice actors play to kind of tease each other, drop little bombs in the audio booth.
I have numerous fun memories of working on this game. My favorite that sticks out to me is one of the days an actor had brought in a magazine that had Final Fantasy 15 on the front of it. And it's the first time we saw something that was tangible, that we were thinking, this is real, it's actually happening. We're not just in these little studios. It's happening outside, guys.
What appeals to me most about Final Fantasy 15 is the themes that are involved, and I think that's a huge part of Final Fantasy games. You know, you don't want to narrow something that takes 50 to 80 hours to finish into, one sentence, but it's also kind of beautiful too if you can do that. For me, this one is about a coming-of-age story wrapped up in fealty and brotherly love. That idea of brotherly love is something that the world could use a little bit of now. So knowing that you can go through life and your constants that are your friends and your family can change, but you can still be you and you can still grow. If you can get that through to a player in a game, I think, mission accomplished.
Noctis's journey and his path with his friends is one of loss, of acceptance that the world is full of darkness, the world is full of evil, even contesting with your own internal struggles. It's coming from that naive, youthful frustration that things in the world aren't how they should be, and then deciding to accept responsibility to make the changes to form the world to that vision of what you want it to be.
It's about people really going after what they care about, just finding what it is that they love and care about and going for it and giving up absolutely everything that they have in order to pursue the greater good.
The story of Final Fantasy is epic, it's beautiful, and it's something you have to experience.
2 days later, on October 19th, multiple gaming outlets released articles and videos sharing their experience with the first 15 hours of the game. Impressions were overall very positive, with compliments being paid all around for the game's visuals, its engaging story, the interaction between characters, the fluid combat system, and so on. They also shared tons of new footage of the game, but again, they're all pretty long, so it'll be up to you to decide if you want to search these up and watch them yourself. We got even more gameplay 6 days later on October 25th, 2016. This one is around 42 minutes, and it's got Spanish commentary and subtitles, so this is great for the Spanish speakers out there. Just YouTube search the video title if you're interested in checking it out. That same day, French website Gameblog released an article detailing their interview with Hajime Tabata, during which the game director shared details about Final Fantasy XV's PS4 Pro support. The article was then translated and summarized by website Nova Crystallis. According to Tabata, it wasn't long ago that they came to know about the PS4 Pro, and as a result, they really haven't had time to take full advantage of the new hardware. At the moment, they haven't been able to show something satisfying. However, he reassured that they still have time to work on the Pro version of the game and that the PS4 Pro patch would be available come launch date. Then the following day, on October 26th, Square Enix released a brand new gameplay footage, this time showcasing how Moogles would work in Final Fantasy XV. Check it out. pretty amusing stuff. It's got this Metal Gear style humor to it, which is great. This was then followed by a pivotal moment in the Final Fantasy XV development history. The next day, on October 27th, Square Enix officially announced during Paris Games Week that the game has finally gone gold. In other words, the game was at last at a stage in which they could start printing copies. In even simpler terms, the game was finally completed. To celebrate, that very same day, Square Enix released the ominous Omen trailer on the Final Fantasy XV official YouTube channel, and it looks something like this.
To crown the King of Light is the calling of a crystal. Only the true king, anointed by the crystal, can purge our star of its scourge.
How many must die before you are satisfied?
I have seen many deaths, but now I'm only looking forward to one. And then I can rest.
You will take responsibility, you know.
As must we all.
May the gods forgive me.
Pretty awesome, wouldn't you say? I also did a full video analysis of the trailer that you can find on my channel if you're interested. Just keep in mind that this trailer is not to be taken too literally. It's a premonition that King Regis is being shown by an unknown entity. Another major announcement that Square Enix made was that the final piece of DLC for Final Fantasy XV would be an online multiplayer mode that allows players to play cooperatively as Noctis and crew, set to be released after the individual DLC episodes for Noctis's 3 other party members, Gladio, Ignis, and Prompto. Speaking of which, website Nova Chrysalis detailed how each of the other 3 characters would play like during their interview with Final Fantasy XV DLC producer Haruyoshi Sawatari. He said, "I can't go into too much detail at the moment, but for Gladio, we're very much going to take him for a more full action game type feel. There is a more hardcore action in the way he's played. Ignis will be much more tactical. It'll be a much more strategic approach to battle that you have to take with him. Prompto's gameplay is going to be a lot closer to shooting game mechanics. That's the rough direction you can expect." The flood of news for September 7th continued with a brand new article by Japanese website 4Gamer, through which they shared new screenshots to go along with new details about the game's mechanics. Gematsu did a really good job in summarizing all the information, so let's take a look at their article, which reads as follows. Fire, Ice, and Thunder make up the foundation of Final Fantasy XV's magic system. You can purify magic using the elements you absorb and magic bottles found all over the game world. You can also purify magic in combination with items rather than just elements to add recovery effects or status ailment effects to the magic when used. By mixing and purifying these 3 elements, the kinds of magic you'll get when it's put to use will significantly vary. Magic isn't just limited to Noctis either. His comrades can also use magic. Absorbing elements. Elements can be absorbed at various locations on the field. The following screenshot shows Noctis absorbing the fire element, but similar absorption points also exist for both ice and thunder. By purifying the elements with a potion, you can create magic that casts thunder, as well as heals Noctis and his comrades with Cure. As for Noctis's comrades, elemental magic can also be set under their sub-weapon element magic slots. Here we see fire set for Ignis. There are hundreds of combinations of magic you can create. Gather up elements and create yours. Ring magic is a type of magic that can only be used by Noctis using his Ring of the Lucii. There are a few different types of ring magic, but this time death is the focus. Death drains the HP of enemies, and the longer you use the spell, the more your enemy will physically deteriorate, to the point where it can vanish into thin air. Daemons. When night falls, powerful monsters known as daemons appear. With their overwhelming strength and HP, they're impossible to defeat through ordinary means. Their ranks range from series familiar bombs to iron giants with powerful swords. Since you don't have to fight them, it is recommended you flee when you encounter daemons until you're at a high enough level to compete with them. Travel. The following is an introduction to the travel system that will prove useful for Noctis and his comrades. Fast travel. If you've already visited a specific point, you'll be able to fast travel back to it. This is handy for when you're short on time. Cindy's services. The generously kind Cindy can bring the regalia to places where Noctis and his comrades may have separated from the vehicle, but it will cost you. Summons. A summons method of attack varies depending on where they're summoned. When the Titan is summoned near Noctis, he can use his large build to create an intense fissure. When the Titan cannot be near Noctis, he will throw a large rock from a distance. Ramuh, Judgment Bolt. Ramuh appears surrounded by thunder. When he is summoned far away from Noctis, he'll throw a spear charged with lightning. When he is summoned close to Noctis, he'll slam the same spear into the ground. Carbuncle, Ruby Light. When Carbuncle is summoned, a soft ruby-colored light heals Noctis' HP, as well as increases his attack and defense power. During this period, a carbuncle icon appears next to Noctis' name in the status bar, and a ruby color shines over his head. Moogles. The series' familiar Moogle appears in Final Fantasy XV as usable items. When Noctis tosses one at enemies, it acts as a decoy. Enemies will focus on the Moogle and attack it instead of you. The effects last until the Moogle is destroyed. Some enemies are immune to the decoy effect, however. You can also use Moogles to attract a mob and cast a spell, but it will hit your Moogle too. The industrial Lestalem is a city filled with people, brimming with an exotic atmosphere. Lestalem is a busy town where people are always chatting and food stands are set up day and night. There are back alleys, a marketplace, and skewer-grilled meats to buy. That about concludes all the information from 4Gamer, which then brings us to the following day, October 28th. On this date, website Famitsu updated their official Final Fantasy XV portal with some brand new character renders of Corleonis, Cid Sophiar, Cindy Aurum, Eodolus Aldercapt, Ravus Nox Floret, and Iris Amicitia, all of which look pretty freaking sweet. The month of October finally concluded with an interview that French website Jeux Video did with DLC producer Haruyoshi Sawatari, which was made public in article form on October 31st, 2016. When asked about the possibility of playing as Luna in a future DLC, Haruyoshi stated that there is clearly a demand for something like this, so for now they'll look into it. In other words, it's not outside the realm of possibility. That about sums up all the news for the month of October 2016, so let's dive into the final month of this countdown retrospective, November 2016. The month kicked off on November 4th with brand new footage of the game from website 4Gamer, which showed off things like the boss battle against Titan and other bits of combat gameplay. Nothing here is all that new, so I will forego showing these off, but if you're interested in checking them out, search up the article title, or if you know Japanese, YouTube search the video titles. 3 days later, on November 7th, 2016, Square Enix released 16 different short trailers highlighting the game's 16 pre-order bonuses. Here they are for those who are curious.
Play as young King Regis, fighting through wondrous lands to return peace to the kingdom. Master unique attacks and unleash advanced combos to exploit enemy weaknesses. Trusted friends Wescom, Cid, and Claris join the fight at your command. Summon legendary allies to obliterate your enemies and wield elemental magic to gain the upper hand. Pre-order Final Fantasy XV to get A King's Tale Final Fantasy XV.
Following the release of these trailers, 3 days later, on November 10th, Weekly Jump released another issue featuring Final Fantasy XV, the scan of which quickly made its way to the internet. According to a summary by website Gematsu, the article revealed that alongside Corleones, Gladiolus's sister, Iris Amicitia, will also join your party temporarily as a guest member, and she'll fight with her fists as well as with stuffed Moogle toys. Then, later that day, Square Enix announced a special Japan-only demo of Final Fantasy XV called Judgment Disc, set to be released the following day on November 11th. The demo basically featured a portion of the game's first chapter with all the latest visual and gameplay enhancements that came with the master version of the game. If you're curious about what it looks like, there are plenty of walkthroughs and the like on YouTube. Now, if you don't live in Japan and want to play the demo, you'll have to create and log in with a Japanese PlayStation account or change your Xbox's region settings to Japan in order to download it. But I mean, the game's coming out in like a couple of hours anyway, so I don't see any point to this unless you're really on the fence about getting the game and want to try it out for yourself before making a decision. Something else that Judgment Disc offered was a brand new trailer of Final Fantasy XV following its completion. Check it out.
ねえ、昔話興味ある？巨神がさ、隕石の下で王様を呼んだ。
ルシスで起きた悲劇。停戦協定を結べず、多くの人々が命を失った。あの日の悲劇のように、お城とその近くがすごくやられちゃって。大丈夫だったとこも多いと思うんだけど。
すまなかった。陛下を守ることができず、あいつは城で戦争したのさ。迎え撃ってやるつもりでな。
ルーナは無事なのか？じゃああんたは何やってんだよ。なんで帝国軍でルーナまで狙って？敵の将軍に何を聞いている？
これ以上はお前が命を落とすぞ。分かってます。
ノクト、王都は絶対に立ち止まってはならないものだ。どんな犠牲が出ようとも前に進み続けなければならない。
言ってくれ。
Following the release of Judgment Disc later that day on November 11th, website 4Gamer released an article featuring new screenshots and details of the summoned Shiva, as well as other gameplay mechanics. Gematsu did a great job in summarizing the information, and their article reads as follows. Partner sub-weapons. Your 3 partners can equip a main weapon and a sub-weapon. Gladiolus uses shields, Ignis uses lances, and Prompto uses machinery. Configure their respective weapons and switch according to the situation. Ability Call. When you lodge every night, your level and status will settle and progress, but personal abilities are strengthened through a system called Ability Call. On your journey, you'll accumulate and expend ability points, AP. Abilities will be learned depending on the various actions you perform. The system is divided into branches, and according to which branch system you decide to strengthen, you can make an overwhelmingly original party. Choose the ability you want to learn and unlock it by using AP. Ignis's ability, Analyze, displays the effect of Libra. You can see things such as HP and resistances of the enemy you're locked onto. Summoning Shiva, Diamond Dust. Noctis will be able to summon the Voluptus Dancing Shiva. An expansive snowscape spreads out all over the area. When multiple Shivas gather, they can turn it into winter in a single shot. Altesia City. The city of Altesia is a city on the water with a stylish townscape that continues on. Dignified buildings are lined up all throughout the city. You can also go around the city in a gondola. So that's it for 4Gamer's latest round of information, which then brings us to 4 days later, November 14th, 2016. On this date, Hajime Tabata took to Twitter to address concerns regarding Final Fantasy XV after numerous bugs that Judgment Disc players stumbled upon during their playthroughs. He basically said that they are taking notes of bugs and are working towards fixing them before the game launches. Then, 3 days later, on November 17th, Square Enix tweeted out this brand new key art of the highly anticipated title, which looks utterly badass, I might add. It's definitely got that Final Fantasy feel. 4 days later, on November 21st, 2016, Square Enix shared details regarding a Day 1 patch for Final Fantasy XV called Crown Update. According to their press release, the patch would provide the following enhancements. Improvements to the camera with new options to better assist and track the action in tight space and to improve visibility during battles. New event scenes and scenes from Kingsglaive Final Fantasy XV and the Omen trailer have also been added to the game to make the story and timeline of events easier to follow for newcomers. The addition of an ability tree for the wait mode function, which improves the strategic element of this feature. Players can obtain the Beast Whistle, which can be used to call monsters to battle. A wider variety of recipes and fish, with an addition of a gallery for completionist players who enjoy collecting items. Implementation of social media support, allowing the photos Prompto takes along your journey to be uploaded to Facebook and Twitter. Something else that was addressed in this press release was the early leaked copies of Final Fantasy XV. Hajime Tabata basically said that the situation is regretful and that he hopes those who managed to get an early copy will be considerate to others who want to avoid spoilers and enjoy the game in full when it properly launches on the 29th. That same day, Square Enix released the Final Fantasy XV 101 trailer. As the name implies, it provides viewers a basic overview of what the game is all about. Check it out.
This is a living, breathing world of fantasy based on reality. Built with groundbreaking and cutting-edge technology, this is the ultimate action RPG, created for fresh faces to the series as well as longtime fans. This is the grand quest to reclaim your throne. This is Final Fantasy XV. Final Fantasy XV is set in the war-torn world of Eos. You are Noctis, the crown prince of the kingdom of Lucis, and your quest is to seize back your homeland from the clutches of the menacing Imperial army, Niflheim.
There was an attack. The king was found dead.
Noctis and his 3 loyal companions must embark on an epic journey of brotherhood, exploration, and action as they unravel Noctis's destiny and take up arms against the invading Niflheim Empire. Noctis is heir to the throne and the only son of King Regis. His dislike of the restrictions of the royal family and his casual attitude belies his strong desire to protect those around him. In combat, Noctis wields spectral weapons which he forges from thin air, a power possessed by those of his royal line.
Now is not the time to question your calling.
Noctis' friend Prompto is the life and soul of the team. Fast friends with Noctis since they met as teenagers, Prompto is a young man of common birth who finds himself out of his depth when tragedy befalls Lucis.
We go back to Insomnia. Might not be safe for us there. Might not be safe for us here.
Although he's the weakest and youngest member of the team, his masterful gunplay makes Prompto a valuable ally during skirmishes. Prompto's favorite hobby is photography, and the photos he takes on your journey can be shared on social networks.
This one's pretty good.
I dig it too.
Gladio is Noctis' eldest companion, and his family has long served as the shield protecting the kings of Lucis. However, the bond Gladio shares with Noctis transcends that of a bodyguard and his liege.
I gotcha!
Gladio's strength means he can charge at the enemy's ranks and wreak havoc over a wide area. As a survivalist, Gladio will retrieve ever more useful items at the end of battles as his ability develops.
When you can't focus, I focus for you. It's my job.
Ignis is the most thoughtful of Noctis' companions and was raised alongside the prince to be advisor to the heir apparent.
I'll analyze what intelligence we have available to find us a way in.
When it comes to fighting, he wields dual daggers with deadly efficiency. Ignis can also mark multiple enemies on the field, setting up Noctis to warp strike each of them in succession. As the team cook, he crafts dishes that would impress any restaurant with their look, smell, and taste while also offering stat bonuses to the party.
I've come up with a new recipe.
There is a strong supporting cast in Final Fantasy XV, weaving a complex and compelling story. The principal characters include Luna, Princess of Tenebrae, and lifelong friend of Noctis. She is also the youngest oracle in history with an inborn ability to speak to the gods.
Goddess of the seas, I beseech you!
Regis, the fallen king of Lucis, and his adversaries, Aeolus and Arden, Emperor and Chancellor of Niflheim respectively, provide the backbone to the overall story, filled with treachery, violence, and mystery. Final Fantasy XV's combat system offers an intoxicating blend of magic spells, summons, and real-time battle action. User-friendly and with hidden depths, the system lets you strike not only with a vast array of hardware and magic, but to also exploit the skills and weaponry of your comrades. But don't forget to have a solid defense, where parrying, countering, and dodging your foes' attacks will also be key to victory. Using Noctis' unique warp ability, you can quickly get into the action with a long-range attack or deftly dodge incoming attacks. You can also warp out to safety to assess the battlefield or to regain precious health. For those who would prefer to slow things down while in the heat of battle, there's Wait Mode. While in Wait Mode, the player can freely target enemies, aim magic spells, select teammate abilities, and more.
What are you after this time?
Throughout your travels, you will also find and be able to purchase powerful weapons and accessories for Noctis and the gang. You can map different weapons and magic to the D-pad, meaning they can be easily switched during combat to suit your personal fighting style.
Hell yeah!
Last but certainly not least, your choice of outfit can also support you in combat. Noctis and his comrades can be fully customized with a range of outfits, all of which come with their own unique stat boosts. Magic will be an important weapon in your arsenal and is collected from elemental spots throughout the map. It can be crafted and loaded into the inventory at a set amount of your choice. The more you invest into a specific magic type, the stronger and more effective it will become when used in battle. Magic can also be combined with other items to give it special attributes.
You're on fire today!
As you journey through Final Fantasy XV, the party will earn ability points by leveling up and completing quests.
Well done, men.
These are used in the Ascension system to activate nexuses that will grant the characters new and exciting skills to aid you on your journey. Customize Noctis in the party to match your playing style. Of course, no Final Fantasy game would be complete without the power of summoned beings. In Final Fantasy XV, you can summon ferocious and awe-inspiring beings called Astrals. Seeking them out and calling upon their powers will provide earth-shattering strength for your battles. The world of Eos is so epic that you'll need to do more than explore only on foot. To enable your road trip of a lifetime, you have the most extravagant of cars.
Would you care to take her for a little test drive, Noct?
The Regalia is your main mode of transport and will allow you fast passage between major locations. But to get close to the action and explore in depth, you'll have to do so on foot or via Chocobo. Oh, and by the way, from a certain point in the journey, it'll be possible for the Regalia to fly.
Whoa! This is awesome!
Final Fantasy XV includes a plethora of side quests, which are available to you throughout your journey. Some will relate to the main story, giving information on other happenings in the world and insight into the many characters you'll meet along the way. Tipsters in the world give you the opportunity to carry out monster hunts to gain valuable experience and a cash reward. Your hunter rank increases as you complete these quests, which in turn allows you to undertake more challenging hunts with even greater rewards. Happy hunting! Havens are locations dotted throughout EOS where the gang can safely recuperate from the day's events. Make a camp at these locations and utilize Ignis's cooking skills to create delicious and stat-boosting meals. At various locations in the world, you will find the game Justice Monsters 5, hugely popular with Noctis and the residents of Lucis. This pinball game is fully playable in Final Fantasy XV and is also available to download now on mobile devices. Along with Justice Monsters 5, there are many other mini-games to discover and enjoy, such as fishing. Why not try your hand at catching the evening dinner?
You did good.
While exploring the vast realm of EOS, you will experience a world of wonder filled with beauty, tragedy, and excitement.
We should play again sometime.
Final Fantasy XV retains the legendary hallmarks of the Final Fantasy series, which has captivated players for nearly 30 years, while bringing you revolutionary gameplay, which has been developed with pioneering technology. Joined by your closest friends, take the wheel and embark on an epic adventure to fulfill your destiny. Fresh faces and longtime fans alike, take back your throne and experience a brand new kind of fantasy.
More footage was released the following day on November 22nd via website IGN, who shared 2 gameplay clips, one featuring a battle against a Midgard-Storm monster and another one featuring the epic boss battle against Leviathan. I'll leave it up to your discretion to check out the footage. Just visit IGN or YouTube search the video titles. Then, the next day, on November 23rd, Square Enix released the full patch note of the Day 1 Crown update on their official website. The notes read as follows. Battle. Added actions inspired by the Omen trailer produced by Digic Pictures to the game. Shift, warp, dropkick when daggers are equipped. Backward shift, warp magic. Elemental magic activation within a short distance. Below are examples of Wait Mode exclusive abilities added to Ability Call to improve the Wait Mode experience. Libra speed increase. By using Libra, you can obtain information more quickly. Weight Gauge recovery. The weight gauge will recover upon defeating an enemy. Surprise attack shift break. When shift breaking to an enemy that isn't targeting you, it's easy to destroy the targeted part. Final blow shift break. When shift breaking to an enemy with less than half HP, the damage multipliers will increase. Additional battle screen effects added to make it easier for players to understand their HP status. When HP is less than 25%, the whole screen will be covered by a light red filter. When in a pinch, the whole screen will be covered by a dark red filter. The enemy whistle will be available to use after downloading the patch. You can call monsters, but they won't always appear. Movement taken at the time of an MP burst is cancelled. Trying to shift an MP burst will cause movements to fail. Field. You can now shift forward in the field outside of battle. Music player item has been added so that you can listen to your favorite songs while walking. Menu. A gallery has been added to the main menu where you can see the dishes acquired by Ignis and the fish caught by Noctis. Regalia. Opening the menu during auto drive will not halt driving. Regalia shop added that lets you shop while riding in the Regalia. Event. Event scenes from Kingsglaive Final Fantasy XV and the Omen trailer were added as they exceeded the disk space capacity. Additional improvements. various bug fixes, adjustments to gameplay comfort, camera adjusted in narrow areas, menu use improved, addition of other functions to enhance convenience, adjustments to improve the main scenario experience, changes to towns were made to fit the scenario, changes to the open world were made to fit the scenario. Side quests have been balanced, dish types added fish types and fishing locations. Leviathan boss encounter and battle experience further improved. Moving on, 2 days later, on November 25th, website 4Gamer released yet another batch of new Final Fantasy XV screenshots and information. Once again, Gematsu did a great job in summarizing all the information, so let's go ahead and read from their article. Phantom Swords, weapons that only Noctis, as a member of the royal family, is able to use. It is powerful, but it consumes HP for every attack. In searching for the Phantom Swords, Noctis and company will aim for the King's Graves, found all across the world. Phantom Swords are different from other weapons and have the shift break characteristic. This changes based on the type of Phantom Sword. By building up your gauge, you'll be able to summon the Phantom Swords. After summoning the Phantom Swords, you can use Phantom Link to trigger a cooperative technique with your party members. Chocobos. In Final Fantasy XV, you can customize the series' familiar chocobo creatures and borrow their strength in battle. Customize your individual chocobo's colors. Run around on colorful chocobos. At times, chocobos can even participate in battles. They'll help out with a few of their techniques. Regalia customization. You can customize your Regalia car by going to Cindy. By collecting ores that become colorants for color customization, your color variations will increase, and not only can you fully customize the stickers on your car, you can also decorate the vehicle at single points, make your Regalia all your own, put stickers on your car, and even change its color. Customize the wheel, as well as the seat color. Ally commands. Ally commands can be triggered at the indication of the players. Depending on the character, they'll use a technique that highlights their individuality. Gladio, Cyclone. After Gladios' attack, if you press the button in accordance with the indicated timing, Noctis will perform an additional attack using Gladiolus' weapon. Gladiolus throws his shield at the ground, unleashing a strong blow. Then Noctis performs an additional attack using Gladiolus' weapon. Noctis performs a rotation attack, which is why it's called Cyclone. Ignis, Enhance. A cooperative technique that deals even greater damage by making Noctis' weapon the attribute of the enemy's weakness. Ignis transmits the enemy's weakness into Noctis' weapon. By attacking with the enemy weakness enhanced weapon, Noctis can proceed the battle with a greater advantage. Prompto, Conductor. Prompto uses machinery to shoot a gravity ball with the power to pull in surrounding enemies. Prompto shoots a dark gravity ball while facing the enemies. Surrounding enemies are then pulled towards the impacted area. Cactuars and Tonberries. Series familiar monsters will also appear. The fast-moving Cactuars attack by firing needles. They appear in unexpected places and run away as fast as they suddenly appear. Tonberries appear in the city. They attack using their traditional kitchen knives to deal a strong blow. Turning into a toad. A series familiar status ailment returns. If you're attacked by Naga on the outskirts of the city, you may turn into a toad. Becoming a toad disables your ability to attack for a fixed period, but since you can move around and jump, you should try to defend yourself until you return to your original form. This finally brings us to the last Final Fantasy XV update prior to the release of the game. On November 27, 2016, Square Enix hosted a pre-release active time report broadcast, through which they once again provided patch notes for the Crown update, except this time with footage to show for it. The whole presentation is an hour and a half long, so I won't delve too much into this, but I do want to show you guys footage of new actions that were added to Final Fantasy XV after the team was inspired by the Omen trailer created by Digic Studios. Check it out.
いきなりオーメントレーラー。これがオーメンですね。今のアクションが実機上で、剣を投げてドロップキックをかますと。これが単剣を装備していると発動するアビリティ。そうです。単剣を投げてドロップキック。まんまですね。まんまです。でもう一つ魔法を投げて、ああなるほど。これがまたゲーム画面ですけど、魔法を後ろに投げてジャンプする。なるほど。これは例えばどういう遊び方へ？
Very cool indeed. Just goes to show how dedicated the Final Fantasy XV team is, adding new features and tweaking the game down to the last minute. And now it's only a matter of hours before they finally reap the fruits of their 10 years long labor. With that, I would like to end today's episode of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to the final episode of the series, Day 0, which will be released tomorrow at 12 a.m. And to be further updated on all things Final Fantasy, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!